Hello, my name's Mofo here with another OCS Beginners playthrough. I'm just looking to take you guys through another important battle that's happened around the village of Arras. Been quite a significant period for the French, to be honest. They've copped it lucky with the Germans on their last turn having trouble with supply thanks to Hitler in his cronies. Getting all uppity about how quickly his panzer divisions had pumped their way through France, and he kind of put the brakes on. And then the French having back-to-back phases thanks to gaining the initiative via the die roll. So I decided to pump a lot of supply points for the French into refitting aircraft and went quite heavy bombing. So I managed to disorganise both the 7th Panzer Division here and the SS Division there. I then attacked my 3rd Mechanised Division, motorised division I should say, mechanised, motorised, whatever. French, and they attacked the 7th Panzer Division. With all the modifiers in place, we had a 6-1 advantage for the French. Unfortunately for the French, they rolled very low on the surprise, and the Germans actually ended up with the surprise. Now they then rolled it. The Germans then rolled a 2 on their surprise, so a column shift of 2. That's where the Germans' luck ran out, because the French then rolled an 11. Let's roll a 6 and a 5. And even with the column shift, ended up with an attacker, option 1, a defender, loss 1, option 1. I took my option with the French here, retreating out of the village. The Germans lost a unit, and then they also had a unit fall back as well. So Arras holds, which is unbelievable. Try and get back here a little bit. We had a little bit more action on the far edge of the board. I'm going to have to get some fantastic cinematography happening here. If we walk around, you can see here, the Belgians have actually taken a little bit of an advantage of a clear run through to a vacant supply point. Now, there are quite a significant number, 5 supply points sitting underneath that German headquarters there. Unfortunately for the Belgians, there's also quite a good German infantry division waiting for them underneath there as well. And to be honest, the Belgian 1st Cavalry Division is not too flash, but you know, it was open. So they had to go. We'll pan back here, give you a look at the actual board, how things are going. It's really kind of going to plan at the moment. For the Germans, I think, you can see these guys heading up the back here. Pointed them out a few times. Big thing for them is going to be getting them supply. Now, in terms of victory points, and you have a thing called the BEF Mall. Once the ports up north here become isolated, then that kind of brings in a whole new kind of chrome and factors into the game. At the moment, we have basically, you can see those blue lines to the left. Excuse the lamp, sorry. Let's move that out of the way. We have that blue line there, and that blue line there. That is Allied French trace supply coming from the west. Now, the moment that shuts off, that will spell doom for the ports up north. And it triggers an event called the British Expeditionary Force Evacuation. At the moment, we have one rail line that is keeping them in supply. This one here. That is the only one. As the German player, I've managed to block everything else up. I even have a captured airport there, which kind of makes me think that earlier on in the game I could have maybe snagged that and shut that down, but oh, that's all good. So you can see that rail line there is going all the way up and keeping all those guys in supply there. Just put the camera back on my professional stand. There we are. So basically the French and British and the Belgians are in trouble. The Belgians have managed to give the Germans a little bit of a bloody nose up north, but it's all kind of really not that important. Down here in the south, where a lot of my reinforcements are coming from, the problem is getting them up and into. I can't use the rail because as the German player I've managed to block off a lot of the rails, so that kind of rules that out. And when you've got infantry coming aboard, and even if you double time infantry, it's just not that, very slow. So to the south of the board is not really where the action is at. The main of the action is here in the middle. I've attempted to begin a graceful retreat with the British. They've set up along a river here, and then they've got headquarters, and you can see these guys are upside down. Maybe not, you can't see so much on the video there, but there's basically I'll try and leapfrog back. So they've set up behind a river here. These guys here will then go back and just try and leapfrog back to the ports and gracefully remove themselves of the war. The Germans here, their main thrust is going to be here. Like, they really are starting to push in. All I can do is, my main focus with the Germans is just getting them supply. Making sure they've got, like, all these panzer divisions have got enough supply, fuel to get all their tanks and mechanised vehicles running up north. That's the big key with these guys. If I get Arras to go with the Germans, then I am well and truly in business then, because that opens up, you can see everything snaking off from there as well. That will really inhibit the Allies and also give me a lot more options as the Axis going forward. Anyway, that's been a bit of a convoluted video from myself. No real rhyme or reason for it, just kind of thought I'd turn the video on and go on a bit of stream of consciousness. Hopefully by the next time I'll have a bit more free time and I'll be through another turn and we'll have a bit more of a picture of what's going on, what the Germans have got through, what they're doing, their attacks, and what the Allies have got left to play with going forward. Alright guys, good night.